That's the lamest thing I've ever heard.
Don't sweat it. It's nothing. Anyway, it's getting late. I'll see you around. Lucas looked at me suspiciously as I left before it got more awkward. The following day in school, I texted Zane to meet me in the music room. When he showed up, I couldn't help but notice the small scar on the side of his face. That wasn't there before.
So, should we head to the back row?
What? Why would we go there? Suddenly, I understood what he meant and kicked him hard in the knee. You're gross. I would never make out with you.
The back row is where they keep all the instruments?
Oh my god, so embarrassing. And plus, I have a boyfriend, remember? And you have a girlfriend? Just then, Zane bent down to my ear and brushed a strand of hair away.
Tiffany is not my girlfriend, just a first date. So we could totally do the other thing too, if you want.
I just looked at him as my mind went all foggy. Why did he suddenly look even hotter? And why was I staring at his lips?
Ahem, Harper.
I turned around to see Lucas standing behind me, looking kinda pissed. Lucas, what are you doing here?
You forgot your lunch, so your mom asked me to give it to you. But I'm glad I came, or I wouldn't have known what you're actually up to.
That's not fair. We were just having a discussion.
Yeah, chill out, dude. What's the big deal? Isn't he the same guy from yesterday?
Yeah, Zane and I were...
Save it. We're done.
Lucas left angrily, and I just stood there wondering how to clean up this mess. He'd never looked so mad in all my years of knowing him, and this was so unlike him. Later that night, I decided to surprise Lucas with his favorite cake, but he refused to see me. I called him and texted him, but he just didn't respond. At that moment, I knew things would never be the same between us. This dating thing had been such a mistake. I was so beaten up by the whole thing that I got a D on my test.
Wow, I did better than you. How did that happen?
Go away, Zane. I can't deal with you right now.
Oh my god, what's that?
What?
A frown? On your forehead? What happened to the firecracker?
I smiled as Zane took my hand, and I didn't protest this time.
Come with me. I know how to cheer you up.
We went around the school to get to the back gate, and he asked me to wait a bit. Suddenly, a bunch of cute kittens purred at our feet as Zane fed them milk. This was a side of him I never knew. As we played around with the cats, I noticed the scar again. What happened to your face? Zane quickly covered it with his hand.
Nothing. Let's get going.
It was obvious he didn't want to say more, so I didn't ask. After that day, we started hanging out more often. He would leave small notes on my desk with sweet lyrics, and we would talk about music for hours. Do you think Miley Cyrus is better than Ariana Grande?
What was Freddie Mercury's real name? 'Cause this one doesn't sound right.
It was amazing. Of course, I missed Lucas, but he still wasn't answering my calls. I felt bummed out, but I couldn't force him to talk to me. One night after wrapping up a show at the cafe, I was headed back home when I saw Zane by his car, and he was shouting at his phone.
You can't do that to me.
He cut the call when he saw me. Sorry, I didn't mean to hear that. Are you okay?
I'm fine. Sorry. I'm just dealing with some stuff. Are you headed home? Let me drop you off.
I sat in his car, but on our way, he stopped at a point with the view of the city.
Mind if we could sit here for 5 minutes?
I nodded and sat next to him on the car's hood. I'd never seen him this sad or vulnerable before.
You were asking me about that scar, right?